here, 3v3 Typhon Arena, blue team. It's Floid as a Kommando knob infiltrating commander that shoots you, stabs you and blows you up Orky style, alongside Osinski's Lord General. Fights range combat, starts off with this retinue to help him out, which you can add to throughout the game. Really good defense and support abilities. And rounding us off, the blue team is Noisy's Mekboy, teleporting commander that fights in range combat, good DPS, can also disrupt, support, build structures and repair, but is not very tough. The red team, a whole bunch of chaos, 2 chaos lords. First up is Pibb alongside Dark Riku, both rocking Wordbearer's DLC. These guys are destructive and durable commanders that walk through cover and cannot be suppressed. Very good offense and disruption, fighting melee combat. And rounding off the Chaos red team is Angry Birds, Plague Champion, starts off ranged combat with his damage over time bolter, can get melee weapons, really good versatility, can build turrets and repair, but lacks mobility. Behind this light cover and a bit of heavy cover, no, all light cover there. Shooting away at Imperial Guard, we do have a multi-las turret going up. Sentinel is also up for Osinski, double shooters of both the Orks and Chaos Space Marines for both of the Chaos players. Going to see some Nurgle worship, there it is. Going to be very difficult to dislodge the Plague Champion and double CSM behind cover with Nurgle worship. Riku lost one of his Chaos Space Marines down. Here comes the Chaos Lord flanking, trying to get close enough to kill the weak, but doesn't want to risk losing his commander that early and retreats out. Top solo lane then, as it were, we have Kommando knob versus Chaos Lord, Floid versus Pibb. There's the stun bomb, the starting ability of the Kommando. I think that's only going to stun the heretics though, yes. And they are going to bleed models like crazy from double shooters and that Kommando knob. Here comes the Chaos Lord. Going to tie up the shooters. Surely, no, goes after the Kommando, and there is kill the weak, and this is a dangerous engagement for Pibb. Needs to be very careful with sluggers coming in, and recognises that and retreats out. Bit of a stalemate at bottom. Contested VP here. Blue team have a natural in the east, red team have a natural in the north. Looks like it's going to be decapped. How do you win the bottom of Typhon Arena then? Setup teams can obviously be very effective. Doesn't mean just to get loads of them though. You've got to use them right, you've got to support them. And I think you've got to push them up on occasion as well, especially when you force off the other team. Hit their natural power down here. Push up your setup teams and support that bash. Makes you much harder to dislodge. And the longer you are there and the harder you are to get rid of, the longer you're keeping that victory point. What are these sluggers up to? They're going to bash power with burners. These are Floids. Nicely done. Capitalising on forcing off Pibb, which you've got to do on this map very quickly. You've got to keep yourself moving. We have a heavy bolter turret up from Angry Bird that will suppress infantry and do a lot of damage if they get close. Only just covering that victory point though. And it doesn't suppress all that well, it seems, compared to the Tech Marine. I'm not sure if that's right, that's just my observations. I'm not sure what the statistics are exactly. Chaos Heretics just about getting away for Riku, these guys with grenade launchers. That's heavy cover, but he does run away and gets a Breath of Nurgle heal from the Plague Champion. Not sure if the blue team even know there's a turret there. They might now. And there you see the artillery spotters shutting it down with that smoke shell. Nicely done by Osinski. And Chaos are going to be forced off here. That turret getting shots off, and it's now targeting the sluggers, I think, with a lot of damage at that range. Here are those spotters. Call in off-map shells. Start off with a smoke shell and an artillery shell, which disrupts and damages the smoke shell. Reduces ranged weapons range to almost nothing. 500, 463. I wonder if that range reduction affects grenades and stuff as well. 2-to-1 cap for blue team. The Plague Champion now rocking the Biosphere, a really dangerous flamer type weapon that debuffs speed and damage of anything it hits. I don't think it affects vehicles though. It says enemy infantry, yeah, there we go. Really awesome at taking down structures like grenades, like generators I should say. Mekboy has teleported ahead for Noisy and has that Daka big shooter. Lots of DPS on a teleporting commander with no downsides, doesn't need to set up or anything, but he's forced off here. He's going to try a lot of power bashes with this Biosphere, I imagine. The turret has survived, heretics are there ready to repair it from Riku. Let's have a look at the top. Pretty quiet at the moment. Looks like Pibb is taking up the contested stuff, might try and push the victory point Looters are up there, and this is a power harass from Floid. He's going to come and flank, in fact. He's going to try and take down that turret with these burners. And he's going to do it, I think. 500, 443. There's a smoke shell, aspiring champion heretics for Angry Bird. And down goes the turret, didn't quite realise it in time. And down go those heretics as well, caught in retreat. But now the sluggers need to retreat through a whole bunch of stuff and get away. 8 hit points, 6 points, and they get out of there. This VP still uncapped. 500, 443, double spotters for Osinski, double looters for Noisy, and a looter squad for Floid. Just double Chaos Space Marines for Pibb and Angry Bird. Dark Riku going for some Noise Marines. In retreat at the moment. Chaos Lord, no sign of the combi flamer. We do have it on Pibb's Chaos Lord though. That Bow Spewer doing awesome damage to those guardsmen and forces them off. Has that Breath of Nurgle heal as well to keep him alive as he needs to get close to use that Spewer. He's level 2 already. Here comes double Chaos Space Marines for Angry Bird, both with Eternal War. You can tell by that plus icon. And also those Chaos insignias around their weapons. Being suppressed here by looters though, and there's an artillery shell as well. 500, 443. Here come heretics on Nurgle worship in order, I think. Nope. Leave him to die. Noisy pushing forward for a power harass. Is he going to bring his looters up? Don't think so. Takes down a node. 500, 438. There is some Nurgle worship boosting the health regeneration of these Chaos Space Marines. Best used when behind cover, otherwise it's not really going to save you from model losses. There's the 2-to-1 cap. Sluggers taking a very strange retreat path and caught by heretics, and there's a Doom Blast that almost takes them out. These are Noisies. There's a shell to save them. Nice thinking by Osinski, but I don't think they needed it. 500, 417. Blue team yet to lose a victory point off of their counter. Tier 2 for everyone apart from Angry Bird and Noisy with a relatively heavy tier 1. Got the battery pack, Daka big shooter, and those double looters, as well as upgrading his shooter boys. Looks like he lost one of his shooter boy squads and replaced them. Raptors on the field now for Angry Bird. Jump troops that suppress when they land, a nice idea, but outnumbered severely there. Here come Noise Marines for Riku, a flamer type infantry squad, but their sonic blasters disable ranged weapons and shake structures to the ground. They also have 2 models with bolters which do reasonable damage. They really do awesome DPS to blobs of infantry like that. You see if you can see them shoot. Nope, forced off before they can. The Sentinel had the stomp. 500, 384. There's the 2-to-1 steal for blue team. Pain point now for Noisy. Look how heavy this tier 1 is. Support sub-commander for Orks in tier 1. Has a heal and a decent 40 DPS power melee weapon. Blood Crushers for Pibb and Dark Riku. Still a 2-to-1. Floyd doing very well with his flanks and trying to hit this power as often as he can. Does he have anything on his commander knob? Not yet. Might see the special shooter shotgun if these heretics causing problems. They do have an aspiring champion. Has a Blood Crusher to worry about soon. Here come those raptors. Really nice DPS. More DPS than Assault Marines, but not as much hit points, of course. Going after those double looters now, but they're right in the face of one of the squads. You just saw the bilious discharge there, the ability that a Bile Spewer has, and Raptors just about getting out, or are they? Painboy tried to finish that one off, and does, with the damage over time from his knife. That Raptor squad goes down, and they were under Nurgle worship as well. 500, 341, couldn't even save them. Sentinel with the missile launcher, red team under huge amounts of pressure, and there is the double cap. Power harass, there we go. Noisy being very quick to hit that power whenever he can. Here is double Blood Crushers for Pibb. Here's one of them. There's some Marco Zinch action as well. Blood Crushers can be supported very, very well by heretics, giving them a speed boost as well as the usual demonic worship benefits of health and energy regen with their worship. Here is Dark Riku's, has the same Khorne worship of course with his heretics. We do have Armor of the Inferno up, so unsurprisingly I should say. Against all of this range stuff, those double spotters have been really annoying, and there is their incendiary shell, you just saw it there. Both squads have their tier 2 upgrades, only 75 requisition now, improving the damage of their default shell and giving them incendiary shells. You just saw those heretics wiped by a manticore strike. All the way back into base, heavy artillery piece, huge range and damage potential, but you need to manually target every single missile. 500 to 80. Mekboy, very nearly level 3, is being forced off here. Blood Crusher being chased down by sluggers. We do have cracked missiles up for the Sentinel if he chooses to use them. The Plague Champion is going to go down here. Yes, caught in retreat by sluggers at close range. Nothing he could do. Riku now going for some more heretics to replace the ones he lost. Needs to support his Blood Crusher somehow. Tier 3 now for Floid, tier 3 for Noisy, and this is looking bad for red team. They have capped up the top though, but they've lost stuff left and right. And apart from Noisy's Shooter Boy loss, which I missed, I don't think they've lost anything else. What is this? Double Blood Crushers in base from Pibb. Have vehicle armor, even though they are demons, so they're not being really affected by these base turrets. Beamy Death Gun looters being chased down, their biggest threat right now. Apart from this Sentinel, their only threat really. Here comes another Beamy Death Gun looter. Need to be careful, Pibb. There's the Demonic Roar, one of the Blood Crusher's abilities, also has a charge. Demonic Roar forces off nearby enemy infantry momentarily. Is it going to get away? Smacking through the cover, or shot blockers I should say, and no, taken down by a Beamy Death Gun shot. Boom, those things do so much damage. It must be about 300 damage per shot or something. I'm sure somebody can tell us the numbers in the comments. Red team have capped up the top and are capping up the bottom. It's completely swung around. All these Blood Crushers suddenly causing a lot of problems for blue team. The map just completely fell away from them. 4-2-3, 2-6-8, I thought they were in trouble. There's the triple cap for red, there's a Manticore Strike. Boom. Damage severely reduced by this stuff being in retreat, and Noise Marines now have their Blast Master. They lose Cacophony, but gain this awesome artillery weapon. And here's a Dreadnought for Dark Riku, looking awesome in its Word Bearer's DLC garb. Starts off with that auto cannon. Unlike Nurgle Worship, Khorne Worship does affect vehicles with that speed buff. 373, 268, Beamy Death Gun getting shots though. That is painful. This Blood Crusher is going to go down, but it's not targeting it, it's shooting at the Dreadnought instead, but it does go down anyway. Lots and lots of death. Chaos Lord is still around, but decides to flee. Level 3 for Dark Riku. Pibb's Chaos Lord, level 2. Also has Armor of the Inferno. Floyd is tier 3. Noisy must have cancelled tier 3, and he was almost there as well. Has tons of red. Floyd can almost drop a nuke. Orks, the only faction that naturally generate red resource, or WAR as they call it. One of the reasons is a lot of their abilities use WAR to activate instead of the unit's energy. What's going on here? Osinski is going to support top, but now he turns to engage a bunch of Chaos Space Marines, has melter guns on his Lord General, switches to grenade launchers. There's the incendiary shell. Look at the damage that thing does, it's pretty damn good. It's kind of like, I think it shares the exact statistics as the Commando's burner bomb. I'm not completely sure about that though. 289, 268, there's the 2-1 for red. Storming into this game in late tier 2. Blood Crushers causing all sorts of problems. 2 of them have gone down though. 281, 268, looks like the third one might go down as well. The Beamy Looters are tied up though by Pibb's Chaos Lord, and there's a Rocks. Looks like most everything got away. Looks like 4 or 5 heretics died. No big deal. 272, 268 Chaos Lord special attack. Wow. Just took a big shot from the beamy Death Gun looters. That was very unlucky for Pibb, and his Chaos Lord goes down. Anti-vehicle weapons like this beamy Death Gun usually have a very tough time hitting commanders and infantry. Even big commanders are not large targets. There's a noxious cloud. Osinski just about spots it in time. A very dangerous global from the Plague Champion. Not quite as powerful as it was in retail. It's a lot slower now in Elite, but still can be very devastating. And Noisy is pushing power again as a Pain Boy, I should say, with stronger git source. Tier 3 for Pibb. Floid has a knob squad on the field, is bashing on Khorne shrines, spitting out blood letters, and also buffing damage by 10% to Pibb's infantry. Does it affect vehicles as well? I'm not actually sure. Here comes Floyd with the rest of his stuff. Blood letters still coming out, 2 at a time. There's the Let the Galaxy Burn, which just hits terrain, misses everything. 228, 268. Chaos Lord of Pibb hits level 3. And the Orks are going to take their natural back. Finally, that was red for a long time. 226, 228. Looks like the frantic triple Blood Crusher play is finally over. And we have no vehicles. Oh, we do have Dark Riku's Chaos Dreadnought still. Breaking stuff. 226, 265. Blastmaster not quite getting a shot off there. These looters are infiltrated, and we have a Mekboy turret on the field. Savour this, folks. This is one of the rarest things you're ever going to see. Very, very rarely you'll see a Mekboy turret around. There's Let the Galaxy Burn again, and shooters do not want to stick around to see if it hits them. Manticore has pushed up slightly. Mech is gonna die, maybe. No, there's a creeping barrage and a full retreat out for Angry Bird. He might have thought that was a rocket run, otherwise he should not have retreated. You have double Plague Marines for Angry Bird. That's gonna give him a serious amount of upkeep. Look at his requisition income compared to everyone else. Double CSM, double Plague Marines is a whole bunch of upkeep. Floyd pushes across top, capping everything. Pibb is going to come and try and defend now, but only has double CSM and Heretics. Is tier 3. Doesn't quite have the power to get a Predator or a Super Unit though. Could get some Terminators. 226, 242, maybe Lightning Claw Terminators to go head to head with the Knob Squad. These guys have their mean and green up. Here comes Angry Bird with his sizable force, double Marcos Inch Chaos Space Marines, both with Eternal War and their aspiring champion. These guys will put out some serious DPS to infantry. Those Inferno Bolts doing full damage to all infantry types, and the Plague Marines there with the damage of a Time Bolters and their snaring missile launchers. 226, 212. Some Khorne worship for Riku's melee force. He has Mark of Khorne Chaos Space Marines. Gives them chain axes, a speed buff and a health buff. Those chain axes are power melee weapons. The aspiring champion also gets a cool melter pistol, but look at this, a heavy turret is up from Osinski's Lord General, and this thing is nasty in Elite mod, especially with the Executioner. Down goes the Pain Boy, got caught by Heretics, which are now level 2. Very, very frantic at the bottom. There is the Executioner upgrade. Area of effect, rapid firing plasma cannon, where it's taken damage from those Plague Marines. The heavy turret actually has vehicle armor, so you can't take it down with flame weapons, but anti-vehicle weapons do make short work of it, as you saw from these double Plague Marines. Down goes the heavy turret, and that was a big loss. I think if they could have supported that thing, they would have done very well. 226, 179. Both players have their naturals. Those Marines are level 2 for Riku. Going to try and push up with their Blastmaster. There's some Nurgle worship for Angry Bird. All of the cover, or almost all of the cover, completely destroyed at bottom. So it really needs that Nurgle worship up. There's a Manticore Strike pushing the Plague Marines off of the cap. These are Riku's Plague Marines. So triple Plague Marines down here for blue team to try and dislodge. There's a really nice flank from Pibb. Some Let the Galaxy Burn. We have Cadian Kasrkins on the field for Osinski. Looks like they have plasma guns and their weapon expertise, which reduces the plasma guns reload time, basically just increasing their DPS. And there is the, what is it called, Fight Harder or something? Yeah, Fight Harder, which will reduce that reload time even more. 2-2-1, 169 as the 2-1 for red. Can they hang on? Forced off bottom for the most part. Do have some Mark of Khorne, Chaos Space Marines here, and a Blastmaster, a very pissed off Chaos Lord. 217, 169, some Plague Marines as well. Down goes that turret. 217, 179. Blastmaster with that awesome knockback and huge amounts of damage where it lands as well at the end. And then the Galactic Burn forcing off all of those guardsmen. They're being blobbed up quite badly here. Artillery spotters, both squads with their tier 3 upgrade, the heavy mortar cannon. Mark of Khorne Chaos Space Marines forcing off the Lord General, but here is a Nob squad from Noisy, and he has almost 900 red. He needs to use his rock soon so he can allow it to recharge and use it again. Top is all going blue, thanks to Floid has a war truck and a commando squad with their Nob leader, gives them this awesome rocket launcher, and Pibb has a great unclean one on the way, floating tons of requisition as well. Could put another generator down here. 217, 142 Orks capping bottom eventually. There we go. Beamy looters are doing it, and they're going to spread out and hit power, are they? No, it looks like they're going to just hit this bottom power. 217, 136 Pibb up to, no, it's Angry Bird all the way up here to defend. Has his double Plague Marines on the way. Here comes Pibb's Chaos Lord with Icon of Khorne. Not sure that was the best idea. Doesn't attack very quickly with his default sword. Maybe he plans to get the Lightning Claws. Would have gone for the Demonic Visage to debuff the Nobs. 217, 113 Beamy Looters getting shots, but they can't really hit this infantry reliably. They will hit this Great Unclean One. It's not a vehicle, it's a demon, but is affected by anti-vehicle weapons and snares as if it was one. Floyd is doubled, needs to back the hell off. Sluggers getting absolutely decimated and go down. 217, 101. Bottom is still blue, and it's a 2-1 for blue team. Here we see Fight Harder up on a whole bunch of guardsmen, but there is a Noxious Cloud, and Osinski does notice in time what forces off his entire army. There's a Rocks. Must be from Noisy, yes. Very, very dangerous nuke. And that was pretty nasty. Angry Bird surviving with level 3 Chaos Space Marines on one model. These guys losing one model. Plague Marines losing 3 models. Ouch, that's a lot of reinforcing for him to do. Chaos Space Marines are only 66 requisition to reinforce. I say only because when they're fully upgraded, that's not a lot to pay to reinforce them. These guys go down though. Lots of Dakar on retreat. That Plague Marine squad also wiped out. Wow, that was very painful retreat from Angry Bird. For Angry Bird, I should say. So those Plague Marines exploding when they're dead, knocking back and damaging that Nob squad. Mark of Khorne Chaos Space Marines capping under Beamy Death Gun Looter Fire. That thing gets a shot on. Only has a, well, it's a very, very low chance to hit normal infantry, which is classed as small. 217, 64. Great Unclean One. Still waddling around. Down goes the Nob Leader immediately from that Marcos each fire. Wow. Great Unclean One, very powerful in melee combat, over 6,000 hit points of super heavy infantry armor as well. Passively damages nearby enemies and benefits greatly from worship. Pibb's heretics are on the way, and he's going to push the victory point here. Red team really have stormed back into this game. Blue team a bit haphazard at the bottom, losing I think at least 3 turrets I've seen down here. 194, 64, which could have really helped. Perhaps Osinski could have gone tier 3 a bit earlier and got a Bane Blade. But the double spotters have done very well, both level 3 here. Here's the Lehman Russ now, arguably the best tank in the game. Can get some really awesome upgrades. And the Lord General now has his sniper rifle, going for flak jacket also, 172, 64. The double cap for red. And they hold on here. Painboy in amongst. This is Noises. Must have replaced. Has enough. Red for a nuke again. Down goes that Chaos Lord. That was Dark Riku. 152, 64. Then Mekboy's level 6 has the super tough beam to support his Nob squad. And a Painboy, of course. Plague Marines are going to go down in retreat. There we go. Dark Riku with just 2 squads now. Angry Bird with 3. Must be saving for a soup unit. Just need some more requisition. 120, 64. Looks like an Abyss went off here at some point. Limin Russ getting shots off. Has the elite tank crew boosting range and health. Can get a Vanquisher and Executioner upgrade. There's an Abyss again. Stopping a cap at least. It's on the Nob squad, throwing them around with those chains and doing huge amounts of damage right in the center there. 85, 64. Triple cap for red. Can they hold on? Riku has just Heretics. Has tons of resources though, and a Great Unclean One is on the way for Angry Bird and Riku. Will he hit the field in time though? I'm not sure if blue can even push top. Great Unclean One of Pibb is charging round up here, has double Chaos Space Marines as well. We have some Corn Worship, but way too far away from the Great Unclean One to help out the big fella. Gonna go down here, lots of plasma gun shots going in from all of these guardsmen and Kasrikin. And it's gonna go down. Plasma guns doing a lot of damage to super heavy infantry. And down it goes. Yes, Pibb, I think, just sacrificing it to hold up blue team there. 26, 64, and it might help. There's the 2 to 1. They need to get up here now and cap. But they want to stay away from this fella because he's gonna explode. There we go. Not back on the shooter knob, but he's alright. And now they push up to try and cap. Don't have a lot of time. 17, 64. Great Unclean One is going to hit the field in time. It looks like Floid getting some more knobs. These guys haven't even leveled. They've been on the field for quite a while as well. Would be quite disappointed with that, I think. Is that a Rocks? Thought I heard a Rocks, not sure. I'm not sure. Lots of stuff leveling up. Level 4 guardsmen with plasma guns and Commissar and Sergeant. And they take the game. Looks like some kind of global was just about to hit there. I think Chaos Terminator is just about to hit the field for Pibb. Not sure though. Chaos team take it. Well, crazy game. Blue team doing so well at the start. Seemed to be dominating, but then the Chaos team got tier 2, got a bunch of Blood Crushers, backed up by Angry Birds, double CSM, double Plague Marines, and they were really hard to dislodge. Took over the map, and blue team never really recovered, even though they killed a lot of stuff at the end. It was just too late. Weren't quite quick enough to get back to their natural. And 64 VPs left. The Chaos team take it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.